Welcome to yet another video, guys. Important day on Wednesday for Red Star Belgrade as they start their Champions League qualifying campaign against Kairat from Kazakhstan. So Red Star got a bye from the first round. They didn't have to participate this year around after participating, in the first round for X number of years. So they got that bye from in the first round. Meanwhile, the Kairat played Maccabi Haifa of Israel, and they were victorious, so they're off to their second round. From what I've read, the reports, Maccabi Haifa was actually on paper probably the better team, the more technical team, just a better team overall. But from what I've read, what swung this tie into Kairat's direction is the fact that their league is actually already almost halfway through. So they've played something like 20 matches already. And Kairat sits in third place, I believe, in their domestic league. So that kind of, they're in mid-season form, so to say, whereas Maccabi Haifa hasn't. Maybe they started this week, their league, or maybe they played 2 or 3 matches, but they still don't even really have their feet under them. One thing I will say about Kairat is they do have Wagner Love. So if you're a football fanatic, Wagner Love used to play for CSK Moscow. I'm pretty sure he's, a star, very popular player, even today back in Moscow, and then later on went back to Brazil, and now he's in Kazakhstan. So they have him. They have Nebojša Kosovic, who used to play for Partizan, and they also have a center back who used to play for Partizan as well. So they're gonna kind of look to kind of give their best against Red Star, knowing that it's a former hated rival of theirs. So they're gonna look to give it their all. Another very interesting thing is in the 2-match tie with Maccabi Haifa, Kairat didn't use. They used the same starting 11 in both matches, and they actually lost this past weekend. I believe it was at home as well, 2-0, but it was a completely different team. It was pretty much their B squad. None of the players that we expect to see in their match against Red Star played, so they're obviously resting everyone. Meanwhile, Red Star played Vojvodina, who is a rival of Red Star, and they drew 0-0 in the first match of the season. And kind of looking at that lineup, I didn't really know what to expect because, they do have this match midweek, Champions League qualifier. So I didn't know what the lineup would kind of look like, even though it was the derby of the round, so to say. But Borjan was in net. You have Dragovic, who's at center back, the new acquisition, played extremely well for Austria in the Euros. Babic and Rodic and Gajic were the left and right backs. And then Sonogo, Kristicic, the 2 defensive midfielders, Ben, Ivanic, Kataj, and then Kristovic as the striker. Halftime, Sonogo was pulled off, and I believe Kanga came on for Sonogo. I'm not sure if I mentioned Sonogo and Kristicic were the 2 defensive midfielders, but they were the 2 defensive midfielders. Just because Vojvodina wasn't showing much going forward, so we went with a little bit of more firepower with Kanga. Kristovic didn't really do too much. I expect to see Dione actually start against Kairat. And that defensive midfielder role is going to be very interesting. Does he go with Kanga and Kristicic? The center back is going to be Dragovic, and I think it might be Degenek, just because Degenek has been through a lot with Red Star the past 3-4 seasons. He scored some big goals. He's had some big matches in Champions League and Europa League, and in the qualifying phases as well. So he's someone you can lean on, and maybe he didn't play against Vojvodina because Stankovic was resting him for this match. Borjan is obviously going to be the goalkeeper. Gajic also went off at halftime for Bakayoko, who didn't really show too much. So I think Gajic's place is safe. Then you have Dragovic. I believe it's going to be Degenek and Rodic. Kristicic as the first defensive midfielder. And I think it could very well be it could be Kanga. Honestly, it could be Veljko Nikolic, Njegoš Petrovic. There's a lot of players Red Star has at that defensive midfield position. And then, like I said, it was Ben, Kataj, and Ivanic. I think maybe Ben doesn't start this match. He hit a post and then also missed another chance that was harder to miss than it was to score. So maybe Felipe Falco starts on the wing, and then Katai and then Ivanic, one of the guys through the middle, but they kind of interchange with each other. They switch positions quite a bit. One thing I'll say is Ivanic kind of, we didn't see too much of them in the second half against Vojvodina. And then up top, Krstovic had a great preseason, and he didn't really show too much against Vojvodina. So like I said, Dione offers you a little bit of more pace, but he's also his ability to get hold the play and to get guys like Katai and Ivanic involved, which is something that Falcinelli did very well, actually, even though he didn't score as many goals as we thought he would in a Red Star shirt. His hold of play was very good. Dione, like I said, offers you something else, offers you a little bit of speed, solid finishing. But Popkov as well, he's had some big matches for Red Star. He scored against Milan, he scored against Liverpool, so he, and it seems like he's always, there's rumors that he's going to get sold, so wouldn't be shocked if Popkov starts up top as well. But I think it's going to be Dione. I think Stankovic is going to try to work him into the starting lineup and kind of rely on Krstovic as a bigger role off the bench. And then with Popkov, we'll see what happens if he gets sold or whatever the case may be. But with Kairat, they make a lot of mistakes, but they're very fast, so they recover very quickly, which is something that Red Star is going to need to kind of punish them on. When they do make a mistake, you have to make them pay for it. Babic's play against that match against Vojvodina concerned me a little bit. There was 2 or 3 balls where he's kind of nonchalant, and the opposing player almost beat him out for it and ended up scoring. So he's very nonchalant, and even in the last match of the preseason, I think it was against Rapid Vienna, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the Vienna teams. Just a bad back pass. The opposition didn't score, but it was just very lazy. I have no issues with Babic as a third or fourth center back. Rakovic is back. Pankov's had some big games back there as well. But I think Degenek and Dragovic as the 2 center backs would probably be the best solution, just because of their experience. Both international players, one with Australia, Degenek, and Dragovic has been with Austria for 6, 7, 8 years now, so he has plenty of experience as well. And then I think the 2 positions with Rodic and Gajic are kind of self-explanatory. There's not too many guys that you can kind of throw out there. You can have Gobelic on the bench. Vukanovic isn't traveling with the team, so he could be gone very soon as well. And all in all, if I had to make a prediction, Red Star should win this. Kazakhstan teams are very good. They have the necessary money to bring in foreign players to make their teams better, which is something that they've done for the last, you could probably say, 10 years or so. Like I said, Wagner Love isn't exactly a pushover. He is up there in age, but he can punish you still, because he scored so many goals throughout his career, big goals for CSKA Moscow as well. And he scored against Maccabi Haifa as well. So that's something to watch. If I had to make a prediction, I would say Red Star wins by 2 clear goals. Now, whether that's 2-0 or 3-1, that would be my prediction. The days of, when we kind of underestimate our opponents are over. Everyone plays football nowadays. We've already seen some, upsets in the Conference League qualifying, and we'll probably see some in Champions League as well. But I believe in these guys. I think that match against Vojvodina is exactly what we needed, and Stankovic said that in his presser after the match. A match like that is something you need, especially prior to a Champions League qualifier against a very good team. I'm not underestimating Kairat, but I think Red Star has so much firepower and so many good players that they should win this by 2 goals. There will be fans, I think something like 7,000 in Kazakhstan. The return leg, I don't know what's going to happen in Belgrade as of right now, if there are going to be fans or not. There were fans at the Vojvodina match. I believe it was 50% capacity, something like that. So we'll see what happens with UEFA going forward. But I think Red Star should win this away and then, wrap it up at home. And if they do get through this round, in the next round, they will face a team from Armenia or Sheriff from, I forget where Sheriff is from, Moldova. So they kind of lucked out on the draw as well, because it could have been tougher. I think they could have got Malmo. So yeah,